So for those of you that follow Spain on a Fork, you pretty much know what this channel is about. Creating dishes that are made with very simple ingredients, pack a ton of flavors, and fill your body with so much goodness. Anyways, the recipe we're making today is exactly that. We're talking a Spanish garlic potato omelet. Now this is known here in Spain as una tortilla de patatas al ajillo. It's very similar to the classic Spanish potato omelet, except we're going to add in some garlic and parsley, which is going to give it a beautiful lift of flavors, folks. Not only is this recipe very easy to make, but it comes together in about 40 minutes, and it's the perfect dish for any meal of the day. And as always, make sure to serve this next to a crunchy baguette like we do here in Spain. Really quick before we start, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Karen Bird, Barbara Eastman, Uncle Bud, and Jim Shallert. Again, guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. All right, let's begin by grabbing a large non-stick fry pan. Importantly, use non-stick here. That way the eggs don't stick to the surface. And as for the size of the pan, the one I'm using is 11 inches in diameter, which is 27.5 centimeters. I'm going to heat it with a medium heat and add in a generous half cup of extra virgin olive oil, which is 125 milliliters. To make this recipe, I'm using a Spanish olive oil from the Georgetown Olive Oil Company. This one is made with a Picual olive. In my opinion, one of the best Spanish olive oils in the market, and it gives this omelet that authentic Spanish touch. Link where you can get some in the description box below. While the pan is heating, let's start getting our ingredients ready. Very important once again to be heating that oil on a medium heat. That way it doesn't get too hot and it starts smoking. I'm going to grab 1 head of garlic, remove the skins from the cloves, and thinly slice the garlic. Then we're going to finely chop 1 large onion. As you know, when I'm working with onions, I like to remove between 1 to 2 of the outer layers, as those outer layers are not as firm as the inside ones, making it so much easier to chop that onion and giving it a better overall texture. And for the final ingredient, I'm going to cut 4 potatoes that have already been peeled, washed, and patted dry. These equal 2 pounds, which is a little under 1 kilogram. Each one into small pieces that are 1/4 inch thick, which is a little over 1/2 centimeter. Now to make this Spanish omelet, you want to make sure to use potatoes that are a bit more waxy than starchy. That way they hold their shape after they're cooked. I'm using new potatoes, but you can always use Golden Delight, Yukon Gold, or even red potatoes. Once all the vegetables are cut, let's move back to the fry pan. At this point, that olive oil should be nice and hot, but as you can see, it's not smoking, so it hasn't lost any of its beautiful flavor. So once again, important to use a medium heat. For the first step, I'm going to add in the sliced garlic into the pan. And you want to make sure to mix the garlic around continuously. That way it doesn't brown too quickly and it evenly sautés. After about 2 minutes, and the slices of garlic are lightly browned, you don't want to brown them too much, otherwise they can easily get a bitter flavor. I'm going to remove all the garlic from the pan, transfer it into a bowl, and then set it aside. Now using the same pan with the same heat, I'm going to add in the chopped onion. And once again, you want to make sure to mix the onion around continuously, that way it doesn't brown too quickly and it evenly sautés. After about 3 minutes and the onions lightly sauteed, I'm going to add in the pieces of potato. And we'll mix everything together. That way each piece of potato is coated in that olive oil. And at this stage, you don't have to mix this continuously, but you do want to get in there every 3 to 4 minutes. That way all the pieces of potato evenly fry. While the potatoes are cooking, let's start getting our eggs ready. I'm going to crack in 6 large eggs into a large bowl. Now the eggs that I'm using are cage-free organic eggs, but you can use whatever eggs you like. But let me tell you, on a recipe that's so simple like this one, the higher the quality of the ingredients, the better the overall flavor. Then we'll season the eggs with a little sea salt and a kiss of freshly cracked black pepper. The black pepper is not typically used in this recipe. I just like to add a little bit into the eggs as it adds another pop of flavors. And we'll beat the eggs together until they're well mixed. Then I'm going to grab a handful of fresh parsley, finely chop it, and add in about 1/4 cup into the eggs, which is about 16 grams. We'll also add in our sliced garlic that we fried earlier and give it a quick mix. That way all the ingredients are evenly mixed together, and then set it aside. Alright, let's move back to the potatoes. They've been cooking between 20 to 22 minutes, and once again I've been mixing them around every 3 to 4 minutes, that way they evenly fry. At this point they should be perfectly cooked through. You know, you can always pierce them with a toothpick, and if it easily goes in, they are ready to go. For the next step, I'm going to season the potatoes generously with sea salt. We'll give the potatoes a quick mix, that way that sea salt is evenly distributed. And remove the pan from the heat. Then we're going to add in the potato mixture into the bowl with the eggs, making sure to reserve any of the olive oil in the pan. And we'll give it a quick mix, that way all the ingredients are evenly mixed together, and let it sit here for about 5 minutes, that way all the flavors can develop. In the meantime, I'm going to heat the same fry pan with a low to low medium heat. At this stage of the recipe, you want to make sure to use a lower heat, otherwise you can easily brown the omelet in the outside and the eggs are not going to fully cook in the inside. And as you can see, I also have a little olive oil left from frying the potatoes in there, about 1.5 tablespoons. If you have more olive oil than that in there, just remove some of it, and if you have no olive oil at all, just drizzle in about 1 tablespoon. Not only is this going to flavor the omelet, but it's also going to ensure that it doesn't stick to the pan. After leaving our mixture to sit for about 5 minutes, I'm going to add it into the hot pan. Once again, very important, you want to use a low to low medium heat here. And we'll give the mixture a quick mix, just to ensure that all the ingredients are evenly distributed and that we end up with a flat layer. After about 2 minutes, I'm going to run a spatula through the outer edges of the omelet, just to ensure that it's not sticking to the pan. About 4 minutes after adding the egg and potato mixture into the pan, it's time to flip the omelet to cook the other side. This is a very simple technique. You want to use a plate that's slightly smaller than the pan, place it into the pan, and then flip the pan into the dish in one swift move. And we'll slide the omelet back into the pan to cook the other side. And you want to make sure if you have any ingredients left in that plate to add them in the bottom of the omelet. And using the back of the spatula, I'm going to start compacting the omelet towards the center. This is what gives it that classic rounded edge. Now every pan and stovetop heats differently, so it takes me about 4 minutes per side to perfectly cook this omelet. However, it might take you 3 minutes per side or even up to 5 minutes per side. After a total cooking time of 8 minutes, that's 4 minutes per side, this omelet should be perfectly cooked through. I'm going to remove the pan from the heat and slide the omelet into a serving dish. Check it out, our Spanish garlic potato omelet is done. Once again, this is known here in Spain as una tortilla de patatas al ajillo. Such a beautiful presentation, made with the simplest ingredients, and it all came together in a little over 40 minutes. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. Now this is what classic Spanish food is all about. Here we go. I'm going to be honest with you, Spanish omelets, any type of Spanish omelet is one of my favorite foods from Spain, and this one right here is no exception. All the beautiful textures and flavors in that parsley and garlic take it to the next level. Like seriously, an explosion of so much garlic. You saw this, so easy to make, the simplest ingredients, and done in about 40 minutes. And like I told you at the beginning, this is a perfect dish for any meal of the day, and as always, serve it next to a crunchy baguette for the ultimate Spanish experience. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and don't forget to share this video with your family and friends. That way our Spain on a Fork community can continue to grow. Till the next time, hasta luego.